Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB, and I'm so glad you could be with me this Saturday morning. Today we're going to use Declaration Bandwagon, which sadly is no longer being made. And I'm going to speak to that a little bit during the shave. I'm going to go ahead and get misting here. We have a little under 24 hours growth. I'm up early. I took today off because my parents are in town, and they live about 4 hours away in Charlotte, North Carolina now, and so they're in town about an hour away from here, so I'm gonna go see them today, and that'll be great. Anyway, so I'm up a little bit earlier. I'm gonna use this Declaration Grooming Bandwagon, as I said before. Really great, unique, in my view, barbershop type scent. The pre-shave there was the PAA Cube, by the way, and the razor today is the Edwin Jagger 3OneSix, which you'll see in a minute, which was kindly sent to me by Jimmy from NYC Wet Shaving. So thank you very much, Jimmy. I love this razor. Again, today, DE shave for you folks, because I try to do about 2 DE shaves a week, because I know a lot of people still want to see those. I've really been enjoying my straight razor shaving, because it's so much fun to learn, you know, and try to get a little bit better each day with that skill. And it's I'm getting a great satisfaction from honing and trying my own edges and all that. So it's really very exciting for me. So thanks to all of you folks who are not straight razor shaving, who are still watching the videos. I really appreciate it. So glad you could be here today with me, and I hope you had a great week, and I hope your weekend is getting started great. The blade today is Gillette Nasset, which was sent to me by Oive, and this beautiful Edwin Jagger 3OneSix, which is stainless in part and aluminum on this part of the handle, was sent to me by Jimmy, who's an awesome dude from NYC Wet Shaving. Again, I always want to try to remember those people who've helped the channel, and you know, folks, also you can watch. So please go on over to Jimmy and give him a sub. He's a great guy, and he loves some sterling like me. Anyway, Declaration Bandwagon, no longer made. I was sent a sample of this by Chris Garcia. If you're watching, Chris, thank you. And I just loved it. And so I went and found the aftershave at Small Flower. Because they still have the Bandwagon aftershave, which I have right here. And then I was on the search for soap, because Chris sent me a sample. And Abraham of West Coast Shaving sent me his personal tub. So thank you very much, Abraham. And by the way, the brush I'm using today, incidentally, is the West Coast Shaving. This is their honeycomb synthetic. These are very well priced, and they're very good. I like them a lot. I have about, I want to say about 5 brushes from West Coast Shaving, and I like them all, and they're all well priced. West Coast Shaving has really upped their game, so check out Abraham over at West Coast Shaving. He's a good dude and good customer service. For example, I bought a strop over there, and when it arrived, it had some issues, and Abraham took care of it. So thank you very much, Abraham. And also I've mentioned, I've talked to the owner, Aviv, on a couple occasions. I like him. He's a super cool dude. So check out West Coast Shaving. And what you might notice is you're receiving some products from Myrtle Beach. So they do have some, I'm imagining they have a shipping warehouse or something on the East Coast now, because I know Aviv, in my talks to him, grew up in Myrtle Beach, and I think he still lives there, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But I think well, I'm getting laughed all over the place. I think he still lives there. So, cool people at West Coast. Check them out if the opportunity presents itself. They're doing a lot of exclusive soaps with Artisans and so forth now too, which I like. They're getting some really nice releases. Cool people. So check them out. Anyway, back to Declaration here. I never tried this one when it was being sold a couple of years ago. And honestly, that was a mistake, because this is a really nice, unique barbershop scent. To me, it's a more citrusy barbershop scent. It's got sort of a citrus burst in it, but then it's got that sort of a little slight powdery sort of powderiness to it that a lot of them have, but it's not overly powdery. It is one of the best, in my opinion, scent-wise, and it's why I went out on the hunt for it. And honestly, Declaration, you should make this. I know Declaration, given watching that Razor Burn podcast, I'll link the show below. If you watch that podcast, you don't really get the idea that Declaration is open to too much influencing, because he just kind of says, I do whatever I want when I want. I'm paraphrasing, but more or less the feeling I got from watching that video was, I just make whatever I like whenever I feel like it. Which honestly, I didn't care as much for that. I did enjoy, he talked about some of his challenges, which I appreciated, and I completely understand. But the other part of it, he seemed a little bit flippant about the hobby, like, just, I don't know. That part I didn't care for as much. But he was being true to himself, and I do respect that. I respect people who sort of just do it however they like. And that's the way Scott at Declaration does it. He just does whatever he wants when he wants. And so it's not always, So what I'm trying to say is that company, a lot of us can reach out to artisans and they'll consider our ideas and put a lot of stock in it. And he did not seem to be one of those type of folks. Like, I make what I like and I hope other people will like it. I do it when I want, because a lot of times things are out of stock and he's like, I don't feel like doing it, more or less. I do it when I'm inspired, and that's it. There is something to be respected about that, I think. So another thing I want to mention today is we've seen a couple of videos. One from the Chief, one from Johan Solo, as I like to call him, from Shave and Butcher, and one from Rick from Loose Screw Shaving, where they sort of open up, about some difficulties and challenges. And I too am going to share one with you. This is an old video from about 2.5 years ago. And this is hard to watch, or at least it was for me yesterday when I went to find it. So I'm going to link it for you. I think it'll be up there, actually. It'll be in one of the corners. And check it out. That video was made around midnight, and essentially it was made some hours after I found out my previous marriage was over. And I found out in the worst possible way that one can find out. Like, it wasn't a mutual sort of thing, and I found out some things that were not great. And I was, in a lot of pain, at the time. So I'm going to share it with you. Just, because we've seen other men sharing it. And, you're never too tough or too macho to ask for help or to put yourself out there. So watch that video. I'll also link it below. I want to remind you, I always have links below. My contact information, links for products, all sorts of stuff. So please make sure you're checking things out below. I'm also linking the channels that I mentioned during the shave. So please, if you would, check out the links. So we'll link that video. It's a tough one to watch once you know what's going on. So think about that video against the backdrop of learning that your marriage, unbeknownst to you, is over, but you don't know it's over yet, but you find out in the worst possible way that it is. And so that was tough. Now, that said, I don't hold any resentment towards my previous wife. I forgive, that's the kind of person that I am, but it was hard. I'm not going to lie. It was a very dark time. And, I was having some trouble even prior to that. And then, the videos even prior to that and some after it were quite angry. And, that's when I went through that period. And before, quite honestly, it wasn't just that. It was other things as well. I was just sort of having a rough time. Everybody goes through those times. And so if you watch that video in its entirety, you'll see that the message is really keep plugging, persevere. You're worthy. And so I'm not going to make it a long-winded thing here, because I'm long-winded enough anyway. But you know, go check that one out, because you'll find that it's similar to the ones that the Chief made and Rick from Loose Screw Shaving made, and also Johan, who was talking about, you know, problems. I think, you know, maybe things didn't go, he had a bad day essentially at work, I think. And then he talks about, you know, making the videos and what he gets out of it. And I agree with that. There's always, you know, we do want to be seen and we want to be appreciated. I mean, I think that's human nature. But I think Johan's video, and actually all the videos, the Chief's, again, I'll link them below for you. So if you are somebody who's going through a rough spot, just know that everybody goes through it, and you just have to keep plugging, keep fighting, and understand that you're worthy and that you're important, and that if you need help, reach out, please. All right, that's all I'm going to say about that, because I don't want this to be a downer. You know, we've been having a lot of fun. We want to keep it that way. And this shave, by the way, is going fantastic. This scent of this soap is so good. And I really hope Declaration will sort of be unconventional. So, you know, they're sort of a maverick, I guess you would call them. Like, they just sort of do whatever. They could sort of be double maverick by releasing something they said they weren't going to release. Like, I'm tired of it. It's no longer challenging. Release it, release it, release it. It's really good. And for my money, one of the best barbershop scents, because I like it's got a little citrus zing in there for me. And I don't know what the notes are. I don't know what the base is, because it doesn't say. But it's a really good quality soap. Again, folks, this soap here is probably at least 2 years old, if not 3. Still performs great, you know? You don't always have to have the latest, you know, I think we get hung up on bases, you know. Oh, this base is the greatest of all time. And they are. But man, these older ones, you see the result. It's flawless, you know. So don't worry about buying the new base if you already have, you know, buy a new soap in the new base, but don't go and rebuy all the old ones and get rid of them. I mean, if you're worried about getting the most for your money, you know. Now, if you have unlimited funds, do whatever you want, but most of us don't. So for example, if this soap came out in the newest milk steak base, already owning it, would I buy this in the milk steak base? No, because I already own this one, and this one is really good. And most soaps over the last number of years are really, really good. So let me leave that there. I will rinse. We will come back and get into the beautiful post with the Bandwagon aftershave, which is terrific. Stay tuned. All right, here we are back with our Lancaster towel. I imagine these will be dropping again soon. I don't know when. It's on Etsy at Lancaster Razor Works. Really terrific. You know, I love it. Let's get busy with our Magic Made by Witches here, which is our Thayer's Witch Hazel, which always just adds a little bit of comfort to the shave. There's aloe in here, and of course witch hazel. And if your shave's a little rough, it will help deal with that, although this one was super, super smooth. So this is one of those shaves that was just nice, comfortable, enjoyable. West Coast Shaving was the brush today. This is their honeycomb brush, which is really good, I think. West Coast Shaving has some terrific values. The razor today was the Edwin Jagger 3OneSix, which is a nice, I would call it close to medium shaver. Very smooth with a nascent blade. Thank you, Jimmy from NYC Wet Shaving, for this really nice razor that I'm really enjoying when I use it. The soap was Declaration Bandwagon, which I think is a phenomenal soap. Make this soap. Really, make this soap, Declaration, please, please. People will love it. They've already loved it, and then I guess they just got tired of it. Make it. We shall finish off today with the Declaration aftershave. These are still available at Small Flower, so check it out if you're interested. I'm going to use the sample that Chris Garcia sent me. Thank you very much, Chris. There's no need to dip into my new bottle yet until I use this one. So we've been using this one now and then because I really like the scent of this stuff. Really good. Oh yeah. Bright, nice, little powder, slightly, just a terrific barbershop scent. In my opinion, very classic. Let's rub it on the arms. Let's just, let's get a little going in there. I mean, this is good stuff. I really love it. I want to thank everybody for all your support. It means the world to me. Until next time, I've been your host, CDB. Am I CDB? Yeah, I think so. And I'm reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way, and God bless.